All right. Welcome. This is an attempted podcast between me and my buddies here. We realized that we sit down and just talk about games, about ridiculous stuff. For hours, minutes, doesn't matter. We'll just sit here and talk. And we decided, you know what? Why don't we record ourselves talking so other people can hear how ridiculous we are? And, we decided to put on a spin on it because none of us are pros at gaming. We game for fun, even though we do take it a little too seriously, but it is generally for fun. So we're just going to give our fun breakdowns as if we think we're pros, but we're not. So is the Bronzie Breakdown with me, myself, Temporary Maniac, or known as Lake, Pendlehaven. Why can't I think of your first name, man? Marshall. And then we have, do you like to go in John or Jonathan? Or is that really your first name?
Jonathan's the first name. John's just like way easier. Even my grandma called me Jonathan. That should tell you like where that is.
And in gaming, we call him Daisy. So you'll probably hear us call him Daisy and hear Pen. And a lot of people switch back and forth between Temp and Lake. So as we kick off this first episode is going to revolve around MSI. Mid-season invitation for League of Legends. So this one is going to be mainly a League of Legends breakdown. Future episodes will probably be the same, but we will probably have some stuff towards the tail end, or maybe we'll start off with something if there's some sort of big event going on. You never know.
I like watching Valorant and CS:GO as well, so you never know. Might give an uneducated opinion on that too.
I mean, follow StarCraft 2.
I watch Summit, right? I should know what to say about CS:GO. I mean, yeah, and Shroud when if he's not playing WoW. Okay.
Times ahead for Shroud.
Yes. And good times because he just won a charity event for Blood Hunt.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he was pretty excited about that. So MSI, mid-season invitational. They take the top teams from the major competing regions, 4, 8, 12 regions. They bring them in to have kind of a mid-season, who's doing good, who's doing bad, essentially.
Top dog.
And this year it's located in Busan, South Korea. It had started the 10th of May, so we're a week into it, and it's going to be ending the 29th with the finals. So obviously we're already a week into it, which is fine. We didn't start this prior because I ended up with COVID, so we couldn't really talk about our expectations heading into groups. So we'll start with our expectations before we go over what actually happened. So, Pen, do you wanna start off with how the groups were broken down?
Yeah, sure. So we had 3 groups. Group A was T1 from Korea, Detonation Focus Me out of Japan, Saigon Buffalo out of Vietnam, and I can't remember where Team A's is out of, unfortunately. Anyone?
I'll look that up real
Were
quick.
they Oceania or?
Yeah, I think AZ was no. Order's Oceania, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Order is Oceania.
Team. It just says international. What the hell?
All right. Well, they're an
Right.
international.
There we go.
It's official. It's canon.
All right, then Group B, RNG, China, playing remotely actually because of travel restrictions. Located.
So real quick, Team A's is Latin America.
Are they really Latin?
Yeah, they're the Latin Mexico region.
Who's Red Cannons?
Good question.
I'll look that up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't. Red
I can't
Cannons is
bother to do
Brazilian,
any work
South
myself,
America.
you know.
Oh yeah, the Brazil.
Red Cannons is
Yeah.
Brazilian.
The BR Brazil region.
Okay, because that's what I was thinking when I was thinking LATAM was Brazil. Okay,
Ah,
so but yeah, so
all right.
Red Cannon's Brazilian, and then LATAM is Chinese. Okay.
All right. Istanbul Wildcats, obviously Istanbul, and
I would have
PSG
gave that
Talon.
away.
Then Group C, we have G2 out of the LEC Europe, EG Evil Geniuses out of North America, and Order out of Oceania. Group C only has 3 teams instead of 4 because LCL, because of the invasion of Ukraine, did not send a team to MSI this year.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's
Yeah.
because I was actually kind of I don't know, for the LCL teams are always kind of interesting.
They're fun to watch.
Usually they almost always have something interesting that they'll do.
Well, and I mean, the VCS hasn't been a part of it for the last 2 years because of COVID too. So it's like,
Yeah.
MSI hasn't been a full schedule for
It's
what
been
3 years
since it's
now.
been full.
And also, by the way, so because Royal couldn't make it in, they're remote, and this is something that we'll probably touch on later.
Mhm.
But let us not forget that all matches are artificially standardized at 35
Ping.
We'll definitely come back to that later.
So even if they're at the venue,
Yeah. Wait.
there's an
Oh man.
artificial injection of ping
And
at 35.
do I got some stuff for that?
I've got a letter from the global head of competitive operations for Riot when we get to that.
Yeah. The MSI this year, so was just very interestingly put together. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So let's give kind of a breakdown. So with Group A, T1, DFM, Detonation Foshmi, Team A's, Saigon Buffalo. So for my initial reactions when they introduced that, I thought T1 and DFM were getting out. Just because I didn't know Team A's and Saigon was the number 2 team from Vietnam, because GAM Esports, who was first place, decided to go to a different qualification event, which is probably better for them in the overall over going to MSI. Who knows if MSI is going to be better experience or going to a tournament where you're likely to run into people that are more your level is better experience. Who knows? Their decision, not mine.
Well, I mean, the SEA Games are also a matter of natural pride.
Yeah, it's a regional tournament.
It's a big thing for them. So congrats to them for being able to rep their country. It's
Yes.
Coincided with MSI, and you would think that would have been the timing of the event may have taken that into consideration, but
to be fair, also, if you're expected, I don't know how they did in this. This might be something that I look up while we discuss some of the other groups. If you have a potential of winning that, I'd go to that over MSI. Because you know for a fact, you're going to MSI with T1, RNG, G2. You're not winning MSI. You're not.
Well, on that same kind of other tournament, there was originally also a tournament supposed to take place in China that was going to condense their time between that tournament and their summer split.
Well, it was going to be the same for because it was going to be I can't remember what they call it now, but basically it's like the Asia Games basically.
Yep. But obviously that was part of the reason why RNG didn't travel originally.
Yes.
Those games were canceled as well.
Yes, they were
because of the COVID stuff.
But we're also lucky that they were canceled because individuals would have been selected from Korea to participate in that because again, like it's national pride versus a team doing whatever.
Yep. And national pride is a big thing.
Yeah, huge thing. So.
Yeah. What would you guys like? I mean, it was T1 and DFM. Like DFM is more of a known team and region.
Yeah, just going by
I thought Saigon Buffalo would make it because I did look and see that they were the number 2 Vietnam team, and I like the idea of DFM getting out. If they were ever going to get out of a group, this was it, man. This is as close as you're ever going to get to making it to the next stage at an event. But like realistically, I put way more weight into the Vietnam region.
Mhm.
Way more weight there. And so when I looked up and realized where Saigon Buffalo was coming from, and again, I'm not going to pretend that I watched their games because I didn't, but just out of that region, we've seen what they've been able to do at international events before, and I didn't think there was any way that DFM was going to make it through.
I'll be honest. I'm a DFM fanboy. I love watching them play.
I know. Yeah.
But I knew T1 was going to take the group.
Yeah, I think that was
And
100%
I didn't
a
look
given.
at any of the VCS, even though I was very excited to see them coming back. I didn't look into anything deeper. I was just like, T1 and DFM are my teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Group 2 or Group B, Group 2. RNG 100%. I whether they're there or whether it's remote, number one team.
25 came, and the rest of them were playing on 0. I still take RNG.
Yeah, number one team coming out. Mine were RNG and PSG Talon. But with some of the issues PSG Talon has had previously in international events, I was not surprised if Red Cannons was going to beat them or not.
I was hoping, man. I don't know, like that Brazil just like hypes me up, dude. I want to see them like win.
No matter what sport or esport you watch, if there's someone from Brazil involved, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
Their fans are freaking fanatics.
Yeah, no, I just want to be like a fly on a wall on one of the watch parties when they actually win. Like that's what I want, man. Like that would be fucking amazing.
But yeah, I was also on the RNG PSG Talons just because they were known quantities. And PSG has shown signs of life in previous tournaments. They have some hellacious plays. And they're fun. As I said, they're fun to watch too, just like the FM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sorry, Wildcats, but great experience. Great experience.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Group C, which if you heard earlier, it was just 3 teams. Obviously, we said the LCL team couldn't show up because of the Russian invasions. We're not going to speak too much on that, but we feel bad for them and hope their teams are safe.
Yeah, that's just a rough situation to find yourself in.
Hard on.
At least, if nothing else, definitely as a professional of something that's outside of the country. That's pretty rough.
Yeah. But anyway, I think even with the LCL team, I think it was G2 EG making it out for me.
That would have been my guess, but this is like super awkward.
Do we know who the LCL rep would have been? By chance?
I believe it would have been Unicorns. I'm pretty
Unicorns?
sure.
Which if it's UOL,
been,
they're still fun. They're ridiculously fun to watch. They always got some crazy pocket picks to play.
I that UOL was potentially, if EG didn't show up well enough in those games, I do think that UOL had upset potential, like in this particular group. But I guess neither here nor there. I was not really expecting anything from Order. So yeah.
I mean, honestly, a team I've never heard of before. I don't pay attention a lot. They're what region again?
They're Oceania.
I believe they're Oceania.
Oceania. I don't pay attention.
Which is kind of weird. Yeah,
did Oceania mostly get gutted?
Well, no, because they absorbed Oceania into being in A.
Yeah, that's why they don't take import slots anymore.
They basically didn't exist. I'm not sure. I don't know how all this works out. Like right now, why they have a spot over here now. I don't understand how it works out.
So fill in quick. LCL actually suspended their entire spring split back in February.
Okay, so they didn't even have anything.
They didn't even play.
Yeah, I was looking at it,
which makes sense.
Yeah, there was only like 4 games played. like if,
Really
so,
unfortunate though.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a big fan of the emerging regions.
Yeah, which means the invasion kind of just killed their season, which sucks.
Yeah.
Which from looking at it, we might
Wish them all the best. Then,
we could have it could have been like any one of the top 4 teams because there were 2 4-0s and 2 3-1s. So Unicorns of Love was not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just that they've been. It's not that
Consistently
they've been
the
dominant
top
in that region.
team.
They've been
Yeah.
consistently the top team. Like usually when it comes to Worlds, they're the ones that are
Yeah.
there.
Though,
Yeah,
if I remember
and-
right, after Worlds last year, didn't they release their whole roster because they said something along the lines of they've done all the growing they can do here?
Yes.
Yes.
But
yeah.
like even if
So
they release
they're
their
good at growing players.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
no, they are. They've always been really
Yeah,
good
I
at
mean,
growing
they're better
players,
than
even when they were
TSM at
part of
growing
EU.
players, because Unicorns will show it in their stats and actually win games. So
Yeah. So,
TSM is TSM.
but
I don't understand. Like the chance aren't there, thankfully, but somehow this is our first one. How does TSM get brought up? They're not even close to being here, man. Jesus.
But I think my G1, G2, no matter what, was going to be the first place team for me out of this group.
Yeah.
Though EG showed spectacular growth throughout the group run.
Throughout NA playoffs, they were showing a lot. So after our predictions, we'll now look at what happened, right?
Yeah.
Spoilers for anybody listening to this that has not seen anything about it. Just in case, we just want to warn you now. Spoilers about groups. Okay. Spoilers.
Everywhere. Spoilers everywhere.
Yeah.
So, Group A. T1, DFM, Team A, Saigon, Buffalo. T1 handled business. 6-0.
Yeah.
Couple games were close early, just because I think their draft early.
They usually play for scaling.
Like it was one of those things where it's like if you're a fan of the other team, you're like yes, and then all of a sudden it's like anything all that happens on the map, you're like, oh well, it was a good run, guys, good job.
You dominated the early game, but
dominated the early game,
mid game swing
up to
first
a point.
Baron.
Because like usually T1 was winning at 15.
Yeah.
It's like when the early game actually ended, T1 was commandingly ahead. But like some of the interesting like first bloods and whatnot were fun to watch. They were really fun. But like once you got to 15, you just realized that, oh yeah, that's right. T1 is the antagonist at this one, and they're just gonna win. It's not really all that close.
Yeah. But as far as second place goes, I mean, you guys got it over me. Like DFM looked so discombobulated throughout this tournament. Like Saigon, their 2 losses were against T1. They handled their games they needed to handle against Team A's and DFM.
Yeah, was it Saigon? I was excited. Game 1, day 1. Saigon First Bloods T1 with an Alistair flash.
Yep. Yeah. And then proceeds to get rolled through the rest of the game.
But I was so excited to see BCS literally come out of the freaking woods. 2 years of no international events and First Blood T1.
No, for sure. That was really good to see.
It was good, and it was I think it was one of those wake ups for T1 of like,
like
okay, we gotta respect a little bit.
They actually have keyboards where they're from. Like, we forgot. We haven't seen them in a couple of years, man.
If we want to stay undefeated still, we're gonna have to turn our monitors on for this MSI event.
Yeah, they could not show the amount of disrespect like they showed in the first couple of games. There were a few points where there was T1 Fury showing through, but the respect for their opposing teams were a little suspect at times.
I'm just saying, like, this is the rough part, right? Like, I feel bad because it's just like, I mean, it's these teams, right, that we're saying have no, like, they you could tell they didn't stand a chance against T1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those, we go up against the players of their caliber, we just get rolled, like folded over
Yes.
in a in a chair, just stuffed somewhere
Dale
unspeakable that we
newspaper
can't
laying
see.
over the
Like
edge of
it's
the
over,
table.
right?
Yeah.
But the distance between us to them, in terms of like professional level, is comparable to the distance between them and T1. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Like if you look at
Yeah.
a group like that, like it's not, it's of a similar. It looked like it was of a similar distance, and that's just terrifying.
Yeah, and the big thing is to so with the teams like T1, they showed great teamwork.
Yeah.
There wasn't one person that had to carry the game. They continued to do what they did, where they're like, we are better at team fighting, and this is what we're going to do. But with some of the other teams like DFM, I'll give it to Steel in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
He tried. That man.
I mean, seriously, was it Steel was amazing, especially was it the game against was it A's today where it was like 62 kills throughout the game?
Yes.
Or no,
Yeah,
or Saigon.
yeah, Saigon do that game. Oh man.
It was like 62 kills.
And
It was a bloodbath, and that Wukong was terrifying.
so
Well,
my closing thoughts on. Oh, go ahead.
And so with the final day, and this was one of the games that I wanted to talk about out of this group, because it won. DFM already knew they were out.
Yep.
Saigon just needed one win, and they were in. It was guaranteed they were in at that point. In this game, like look at this draft. Gwen, Diana, Callista, Kaisa, Set.
Yeah.
For Saigon. That dude, this and the other side, Trendamere, Wukong, Vel'Koz, Alistair. Yeah. This is a like silver draft right here.
That's a for fun draft right there. The Callista mid into Vel'Koz, that's for fun.
In silver. And you go you're the Kaisa in this situation. You're like, we've lost why? Why Callista mid with the Diana?
I mean, to be fair, I'll be honest. I've seen worse in my promotional matches. I had a Caitlyn who had Arcane Comet, then decided to just build AP, but no AP ratios on the champion.
And this,
yeah, but I mean, that's normal. That's natural.
This Callista was getting.
That's NA.
This
NA
Callista
trash.
was getting rolled too. Like Steel dude. Steel saw the Callista mid and the Kaisa and the Diana jungle and said, you know what? This is a game for me. I'm gonna run over this. And they fumbled it.
There's a fumble on the 5-yard line for sure.
Yeah. It was. I looked. I saw this. I was like, all right. Like realistically, there's just. I mean, the only. I think like the worst pick into this was the Vel'Koz. Just like, honestly, like for sure, the Vel'Koz felt like. That's the one thing that you can consistently kill with the Callista Diana.
Well, and the thing is too, they had counter. I think I can't remember, was the Vel'Koz last pick? No, Vel'Koz wasn't even last pick.
Yeah.
So at that point,
it was blind pick in round 2.
Known.
Yeah, it was a blind pick, but like
it wasn't a blind pick because
Callista mid was first.
Yeah, Callista was first picked by Saigon.
Well, right, Callista was first picked,
but at that point it was assumed mid. ADC.
It was blind to
unless they knew something.
Yeah, I think it was blind to an extent, but I don't know.
I mean, like that's the only thing that I really see is like just like a.
Kind of the weird curveball.
Yeah, because DFM was doing so good. They stopped him at Baron. They took Baron. They were pushing in. But, the scaling stuff, I guess, took over. And that flash ulti by Bean to end the game. was just insane. And then at that point, when you get an ace and you have 280 carries left, it's over. Like it's over at that point.
That's definite base breaking. Just 2 ADCs in general.
I don't know. Like, I did want to commend DFM's mid laner.
Udapon? Or no, not
No,
Udapon.
no. But
Udapon was their ADC, isn't he?
yeah. Udapon's ADC.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
Yeah,
So,
wrong.
Making it through this tournament and not just like rage quitting multiple times in games, specifically in the T1 match where it was the Zoe for Faker, and he was stuck on LeBlanc, and he just got folded up and rolled over and over and over. Everyone went mid. Everyone went mid and just rolled this guy. And then when you thought it couldn't get worse, they literally huddled him against the wall in mid so that Gumayushi could get a kill with his ulti.
Yeah, they did.
It was just one of the most brutal beatings I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like you. Hopefully he comes out of this mentally tougher, because I don't know. It's either that or you just quit. This was a rough tournament for him.
I'll be honest, I
Really
probably
rough
would have
tournament
broke
for
for
him.
good from League from that one.
Yeah, right?
I'd at least take a year off and come
Oh,
back
man.
worse than I ever was.
Okay. Saigon, good job. You made it out.
Yeah.
T1, you made it out. You're both in the Rumble stage.
Hip hip.
Good
hooray.
return showing VCS.
Yeah. Yes, especially for not being there for 2 years.
And for being the second place VCS team.
Yes, that makes you wonder what GAM could have done, you know.
Yeah.
Dare you say maybe take a game off of T1? You never know.
It was always possible, because that region has been the one that usually gets the closest to doing stuff along those. They make things super interesting. So.
All right, Group B, the extremely interesting confrontational group. RNG, Red Cannons, Istanbul, PSG Talon.
Yep.
So I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of these games. I didn't get a chance.
Same. I wasn't really particularly interested in the teams. I watched some of the Red Cannons games and got depressed, so I started Red Cannons games.
So where do we want to start with this one?
So RNG, they did not travel due to COVID-related restrictions, which was very talked about topic in the league, because VCS for the last 2 years couldn't travel because of COVID, but they're willing to accommodate
Make changes for LPL.
Accommodate the LPL. To an extent, you understand why. One of the largest regions, and was LPL the winners last Worlds? So it's one of those, you're going to make accommodations for them. Why not make accommodations for VCS? Beating a dead horse, right? So I think in future it's going to have to be one of those, you're going to have to accommodate for any regions that's not going to show up. I'm sorry, if you're able to do it for at least one region, and the other regions are able to support what needs to be done to meet the MSI standards, if they remote in, then they should be allowed to do so.
Now, I do think this is a little bit of a special situation as well, to be devil's advocate here, because the 35 ping, I believe,
The
is
standard
based on
between
China going to a Korean server, basically.
Yeah, that's their ping from that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw that article.
To be I didn't see the article. I just knew that was the case.
Yeah.
But like that
Which
is
which I
like they're close enough that that's the case. I don't know what ping would be
yeah.
for someone from from Vietnam.
So
But
Especially when stuff was held in like Iceland last year, and
yeah,
true. True. Which I did find out that it was only Group B games that had a 35 ping. Everybody else was at the standard tournament, like what 0 ping or whatever they can do.
that's not good.
Um,
Everyone needs to be at 35 immediately if that's the case, because the problem is
they'll
an
they'll go
unfair
from
advantage.
it's gonna be a shift in
That's
meta.
so
for
that's
having games.
really
here's
unfair,
the thing
actually.
though, because Faker had put out a statement saying that even though they weren't required to have a ping, that the network connections where they were at were horrendous. He said it
Oh,
felt
Yeah,
all right.
felt like
So
playing on 60 ping.
yeah, and that's what a bunch of other people had said. We should probably wait till we finish talking the groups to get to that
yeah,
point. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
as I
yeah,
said, I have
I
the
did
letter
find
from
out that
competitive operations.
it was mainly Group B that was restricted to the 35 ping.
because like if that's the case and people have been playing at 0,
Yeah,
then
Rumble's
does
gonna be
that mean
real
that
interesting.
at the moment that you play RNG, you have to play at 35 ping when you've been playing on 0?
I don't know what the statement's gonna be for the Rumble stage. I
Because like
don't.
how I don't
We'll
know
get
how
there.
how
We'll
you
get
do
there.
that. Like
We'll,
that's
we'll
wild.
get there.
That's just
Yeah.
I don't know that's wild.
Yeah. So Group B, RNG made it out. They won all of their games. They even had to play 3 extra games. Pen.
Yeah. So because of the artificial 35 ping, it turns out there was an issue for those on site in Busan. There was a letter put out by Alex Francois, the global head of competitive operations from Riot Games. I'll just read it verbatim real quick. So, following extensive technical evaluation of the competitive and training environments during the first 3 days of the 2022 MSI, we discovered following day 3 that there was a discrepancy in the latency being reported in game logs for all matches versus what was being experienced in the Busan venue. To address this issue, we're making a configuration change starting with today's, May 15th, competition in order to reduce the overall latency to the intended level. Additionally, because these issues specifically affected teams playing from Busan, the matches involving RNG were held with an unintended disparity in latency between competing teams. As a result, we have determined it is in the best interest of competitive integrity to replay all 3 of these matches. These replayed games will finish with all other group stage competition by Sunday, May 15th. The replacement games will be held beginning on the 16th. We apologize to our players, teams, and fans, and we will continue to work with players to monitor the playing environment and our commitment to maintain the tournament's competitive integrity.
Which those games were played after the G2,
Yep.
the Group C Day 2 games. If anybody wants to go catch those, it was only 3 games, and it was only games that were played against RNG. So pretty much RNG had to play each team 1 new time. They put everybody's record, back to 3, depending on what your breakdown was at the time. And then they played 3 games. A little ridiculous. It sucks. Because you would think in those, like, oh, 3 previous games were scratches. And like you could almost consider those practice in that sense. You got to see RNG maybe change up some strats. No. Everybody decided to keep folding to RNG because of how strong they were. And RNG came out and were like, even though we're playing these 3 games, we're going to speedrun them too. They ran through those 3 games like it was nothing.
So
I mean 32 ping, 0 ping. I don't think it matters, right? Like
RNG was good.
RNG was gonna roll this group.
Yes.
This like this was the most out of all of them. This was most up in the air for second place.
But first was always guaranteed in this one. We knew who was taking it.
Yeah, first was guaranteed.
So, Blake, you watched these matches, right?
For the most part, I did. It was kind of the same thing where I was like, dude, RNG's gonna run over this.
Well, my question is, they got to redraft everything, right?
They did get to redraft. I think so. I
So
don't
if they
think they
did,
were the
I'm a
same drafts.
I'm a firm believer that if they were going to replay the games, they should have been the same drafts.
I don't
Because
remember. It was like so late when I watched them. I think because I think I
I'm just
stayed up
saying,
that night.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying, I
yeah.
think that if you're going to force a replay of the games, it should be the same base circumstances for all of them,
Yeah.
same drafts.
Yeah, no, I actually agree on that.
Which, and
one
I
for
think
sure.
they were because I'm looking at this, and I think it was the day 2 games they scratched.
Sounds right.
And this RNG PSG that I have up, PSG banned Ezreal, and I think Gallup played Ezreal in like all 3 of the games, and just dominated. He made
Mhm.
Ezreal look like the strongest AD carry there is at MSI, as he does. Gala was
That's
just
fair.
a monster, and they were playing into it so hard. There was like the macro from this team is ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Outside of that, RNG took it. PSG didn't end up taking second, but Red Cannon did not make that easy on PSG because they won.
No.
Red Cannon beat PSG.
They did.
And I thought that was
I
like,
thought it was
holy
it. I was
moly.
so hyped. You've no idea. I was so hyped too.
Red Cannons went out. They were like, you know what? Screw it. We might not be the strongest, but we're gonna. They gave everybody a challenge. I think
Yeah.
early game in a like 1 or 2 of the RNG games, they were like, we're gonna play. We know you're gonna beat us late game, but we'll try some stuff early, and they did. So
Yeah.
I was very impressed with them, and I hope we see him at Worlds, even if it's
I
in the
do.
play-ins.
I don't know, these teams like Red Cannons. I want to see them break through once, man. Like, just I don't know what's got to change for the team specifically, but I want to see them like make it to group stage.
It might just need to be like a macro type of adjustment in the games. Their drafts to me seemed fairly solid.
Yeah.
I think it was just some decision making and honestly just kind of being overwhelmed. I think. I mean, they did pull out some crazy stuff. I mean, in this game, this remade game, they pulled out the Darius.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
No, Darius.
So just looking, the drafts were not the same from what I can find.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the Darius was only picked once the entire tournament so far.
Yeah, and at that point, I think Red was like, the crummy thing is this gave Red a chance to set a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder how much of the Darius was a troll or a real pick. Who knows? I don't know much about Wigo. Or Yugo, however you say his name. So who knows if it was a troll pick or if it was a real pick. I mean, he did decent on it, but the rest of the team just couldn't keep up with freaking everyone else.
Yeah. RNG.
Yeah.
Like it's just RNG. Like, like I mean, it's one of those things of we have a chance. Who are you facing? Look, we have a chance, man.
Yeah.
There's always a chance.
Maybe they're the ones with inexplicable lag this time around. Who
Kind
knows?
of imagine, it's a case of never tell me the odds.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for this time, it's just never tell me the opponents, please.
Tell me the opponents, you're telling me my odds. I don't like it.
So Group C. So like we said, LCL was not there. Hopefully the teams and stuff are safe. All of those players. G2, EG, and Order. Just off of that, you knew G2 and EG were going to make it out. You were just wondering what the record was going to be because of the NA-EU rivalry. Both EG and G2 had incredible runs through their respective playoffs to make it to MSI. G2 8-0 or something. Like just decided to 3-0 everybody.
Let's see. What was it? 8-0? Because they went
9-0
3-3. No, 9-0. It was 9-0 because
Yeah.
they 3-0'd everyone
Yeah, just decided to roll
in the
through
back.
everybody.
Yeah, and was it
And,
EG played up through the
EG
losers bracket?
Yeah, EG
Yeah,
had
it
to go
was
through the
C9,
losers.
TL, and then 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
3-0'd everyone.
But I expected EG to take at least one game. One. They played each other 4 times.
4 times. Everyone played each other 4 times in that group.
So
One game.
So I just want to say first off that number one, G2 in game one outdrafted evil geniuses to a terrifying degree. And the problem is that EG had an option for a different final pick. But they're continually picking stuff into a pre-established Anivia that does not belong against Anivia if you want to win.
Right, that game one with Caps pulling out
Because-
the Anivia and just smurfing on the champ.
Yeah, I mean, but like, EG picked stuff into it that you just why?
Yeah.
Like, if the wall goes down, you're dead on their AD carry and their mid laner.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened repeatedly. And it was like they just forgot that the Anivia wall was an ability. But I'm kind of willing to throw away the first game, EG versus G2, just because, honestly, like there were just a couple missteps that were almost unplayable once you got in.
Yeah.
Because they did not have a good way to get onto the Anivia at all. They couldn't get away from the Anivia at all. And once you go to the objective, like, you're just trapped. It's like they had to they would have had to have gotten ridiculously far ahead, probably cheesed a few ganks in there to get to a point where the game was even remotely playable.
Yeah, there are a few champions that hold a corridor better than Anivia.
Yeah.
That ult just sits there forever.
Yeah. The first few games, Danny was super underwhelming for me. Like, it's just his performance was not good.
Well,
and I don't know if it's because of the craziness of G2 and what they do, and he just couldn't keep up with like the craziness and like I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of times you have no idea what the fuck G2 is going to do.
Right. But like, honestly, I think game one wasn't his fault from the perspective of playing. I think that he was put in an unwinnable situation. Right?
Yeah.
Games 2 and 3, though, there were specifically a couple like horrific positioning blunders that can never happen. The second one, him getting caught by when they're like this is after the where EG thought that they could just go ahead and dive past the inhibitor instead of getting the dragon and denying soul when they had all priority there and they had it easily done that way. They pushed too hard. It was after that, right? In the bottom lane, they didn't check the brush for Broken Blade. And Broken Blade, he hook shots to the wall and holds on to the second part. And Danny walked forward and he gets flash E'd. Or E flashed for the stun and then just gets murked. And it's over. That was game 2. Like, you have to wait until you see where the second part of the hookshot goes.
Though I think his showing on Jinx was game 3 against G2.
Yes.
But probably his best showing of the whole tournament.
And then his positioning mistake in the river near Dragon cost them the game, basically. Because I'm really think, like, looking it back over,
if he's not the one that gets engaged on there,
He probably
win.
turns that whole game, or turns the whole fight.
But I mean, not only that, like think about this, right? You have to get Diana Yasuo through how many people standing in front of Jinx to get there?
Yeah, you gotta shove it through a Gwen, Tom Kench, because
Yeah.
It's a game temp has up right now.
Yeah.
And
So
you
you've
and
got
Viego diving your backline.
right. So, but you've got to get through all of that to get there. But when Danny makes it easy for you by standing on top of the Tom Kench, right there in the front line, like
That's the problem.
it's over. There's nothing to be done.
Dude, and what Broken Blade did under this tower right here,
Oh, yeah.
Vlad, was just nasty. Like, they have him stunned. They're like, okay, we got him. Throws out an ulti, pools, gets a Q,
Yeah.
and then is like, lives. And what's
When
funny
you-
is the only reason they go back for him is like, well, the other two are losing against freaking the Diana Yasuo. Let's try to kill a freaking Vlad.
Yeah.
And he still almost lives. If Impact did not go in to ignite him, Broken Blade lives, which is just even more ridiculous. Like, dude, Broken Blade, in my opinion, is just balling right now in top.
No,
lane.
he's doing really, really well. I mean, this is what we saw when he was in NA as well. The thing is that he has really high highs. He's got some low lows as well,
Yeah.
right? But he's a really, really good player that I think with more time, is someone that you would want to build your organization around later on.
Yeah.
And this, in my opinion, was also what G2 was missing last year as well.
Yeah.
On top of having other issues.
And right here is where I thought EG was finally going to take a win. I was like, it might be the fifth game of the group stages, but they were playing well. They were doing that, and then their positioning, their team fight positioning against G2 was rough, and it's because G2 is like, we can't go at your face. Like, we have to come at you from all sides. You're gonna be grouped. Diane is just gonna suck you in, and Yasuo is gonna freaking ulti. And
if that's not enough, we'll toss a Hemo Plague on top of all of you.
Yeah, and they just couldn't handle the surrounding attack.
Well, I mean, it's like G2's just a full straight up team fight composition. But like, you look at several points in the game where
that flash by Yankos too. Oh my god. Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, the flash that won the game.
Yeah. But like, the thing is, right? Like, honestly, EG was in really good spots several different times. They'd actually managed to really do well macro-wise to facilitate advantages, but they wouldn't do things like let go of a dragon. They wouldn't just let go of a dragon.
Yeah.
It's like, G2's a team fight comp. You do not go into that with what you have. It's just not...
Well, and what's funny is that's the biggest thing we were seeing from, T1 or RNG in the other groups. If they weren't technically the first ones to the dragon, they expected it was going to be lost or something because they may have started it, or because they're setting up a play in another fucking lane. They're like, you can have it. We don't care. We're going to go do this. I mean, set up the rest of the game for ourselves, and then we'll take the dragons from you. We don't care.
Well, and I kind of want to actually put a little bit of a point on that too. They were doing this against worse teams.
Yes.
And it's because they understand clearly better than EG at the very least, where like when they can and cannot fight something, or when they should and shouldn't. Well, I'm not gonna say should or shouldn't. At least can and can't.
Yeah.
Like there's just like we can't. There's just no reason. It's fine for now. And that was like what? That was only Dragon number 2 as well. Like, it's not like they were suddenly in danger of
a soul or anything.
Yeah, and so like I know that JoJo went in with the spellbook smite to try to get the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
He dies, and then his entire team gets wiped because they won't just like leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
Like if he's gonna go for the steal, fine.
yeah,
But like UL should just leave. Like there's no reason to be there. If he goes in, he dies.
which plays into the name of the podcast. That is a bronzy mentality
It is.
from a team. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go in to try to steal this. I didn't get it.
Okay, we'll stay
I'm
right here.
dead. Oh, he didn't get it. Dragon's gone. Let's fight 4v5.
I mean, how many times have we done that, guys?
I don't want to talk about it.
Too
I don't want to talk about it.
Too many times. Eh,
If it's a play that I would make, it's a play that does not deserve a spot on a freaking professional stage. That's my bar right now. Would I do it? Yes. If yes, that's a bad play.
If pro did, it's a pro play. That means we made a pro level play. Now that they made a bronze level play.
Yeah, and it's sad when EG only looks like a top team when they're not playing a top region.
Well, man, to be fair though, that's in my opinion,
Because
it's
NA
kind of
is
been the way
supposed
that
to be a
NA's
yeah, but NA's devolved. Like before, it was like, okay, you could expect maybe a game or two to be taken. EU would probably still win the group, but you would still expect something out of NA, not to go 0-4 in groups against EU. To potentially go another 0-2 against them in the Rumbles.
So I think the whole thing, NA versus EU, would be a different thing if it was any of our other top teams except for EG.
I can't even say that though, because
Or at least
It is tough to
we
say
could
because would 100 Thieves have done any better?
I don't think that they would. And the reason why I don't think
that's
100
fair.
Thieves would have done any better is like, look at their path, the way they got through the playoffs. They got through the playoffs because TL literally just like
threw it away.
after they
Oh,
won
yeah,
2
100%.
games against them, they just like puked on themselves repeatedly.
They
for the
shut their
next 6
monitors
games.
off the rest of the time.
They puked on themselves for the next 6 games. And it's not that I don't think that EG played TL badly when they played against TL, but EG should have won the first game more handily than they did, right? And then at some point they threw so hard that there's no way that TL doesn't win that game, unless something
TL
crazy
throws
happens,
equally as hard.
like Baron levels up on a
And the
smite,
Jinx Rocket seals it.
and the Jinx Rocket steals it, which gets X set, and then Bjergsen flash. Yeah, probably not good to get into that. But yeah, it was like the road to get to facing off against 100 Thieves wasn't exactly just like EG just massively outplayed.
No, that game felt like such a comedy of errors.
And like the series felt kind of like a comedy of errors just in general. Like I still think that EG should have won game 1 based on how it started, if they play it cleanly. But the other games should have been the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Because the starts and where they were, it really did look like TL should have come out on top. So then you go to the 100 Thieves series, and I don't think that 100 Thieves has done anything different than
I don't
what
think
they
so either.
did before.
They
look like the same team, man.
Yeah,
They really do. It's like there's absolutely nothing different. It just
I'd say it's
if
still
you were to
90%.
go back a year and look at it,
I'd say it's still 90% that NA loses 0-4 in this scenario, no matter if it's if it's 100 Thieves or TL. There might be a small percentage chance that I'll give it to 100 Thieves and TL. They're a lot better at taking advantages of slip ups, and there were a couple by G2 in those games. So maybe they would have taken it on those slip ups.
Yeah, I mean, if the exact scenarios played out, maybe I don't know though, because like
But
I don't know. Both either way, yeah. Because like I just think that like we can say that maybe another representative might have done better, but I think that's to say it's copium at this point is like really really obvious. Like if you're like desperately going, maybe one of our other teams could have taken this game that was thrown so horribly that there should have been no way that G2 could have won the game.
Yeah.
If that's a scenario you have to construct, then answers probably way
not
more bleak than you.
favorable.
It's probably way more bleak
True.
than you want to admit. Yeah, I think that's probably about it for the group stage. Really, like,
Yeah, order. You showed up. You got some experience.
you showed up. Here's your
Um,
trophy. Good participation.
Hopefully, you learned some stuff. Just
Take it
I
back,
will
dominate
say,
your region, come back and learn some more.
I will give it to order. They said, you know what? There's a couple strong picks out there right now, especially with some buffs. Let's try them out. It was refreshing
Yeah.
to see the Tristana show back up because of some of the buffs. They
Yeah,
just didn't
and,
work out.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
it's rough.
speaking of
just rough.
buffs, how about Wukong being able to clone over walls now?
Yeah, I
Honestly,
saw that in a few
that's
of the
good.
games
I-
for
I-
like with the
I'm-
red
I'm
steals
glad.
that they did. Oh my god.
I'm glad because now when a Shaco is banned, Shaco players have something to play.
True. True.
Can't play Shaco, can't play game. Go next. FF at 15, please.
Because now you can invis over a wall again. You're welcome. It's just
So, God, there was a lot of games played. Was that 12? I'm not even gonna do the math. You don't ask me to do math. There's a
That's
buttload of games played. Was there
a
any
lot.
picks that you were surprised that came out during the group stages? Anything that was a shocker?
the only one that was really a shocker for me, like seriously, besides the Darius, which was just fun to watch, was the Anivia from Caps.
Mm-hmm. I was really kind of shocked to see the return of the Aatrox Urgot top lane matchup. Seeing as how
Bio
both have been
Panther.
nuffed and
I did forget that the Urgot was played.
Yeah, Bio Panther.
Yeah, what
special.
day one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good showing on the Urgot.
Like,
were there?
huh?
No, go ahead.
Like we said, Wukong. I mean, I don't think any of us expected to see him show up at Worlds, just because we don't. Pay
I didn't
attention
expect to
patch
see him at
notes.
support.
We don't see the
Yeah.
patch notes, so we have no idea what the hell the changes were.
G2,
so.
T1 flex pick, support jungle Wukong.
Yeah,
Like I expected the
who
jungle
was it?
Wukong to show up at some point because of the
Wait,
regions that were going to be there. I expected
it was Wukong
but like,
last time, right? That was the they grabbed Wukong. Well, shit, is it
Yeah.
gonna be mid, support, or jungle? Who
Yeah.
was the last? Oh, there was another character that was like that for.
Oh no, that would have been Lee Sin.
Yeah, at least in. Is it gonna be top? Is it gonna be support? Is it gonna
You mean
be
mid?
jungle?
Oh.
Is it gonna
So-
be mid? Wait.
So I do
don't
have-
play it as
before
AD
that, yeah.
carry. It's the new
I do
Warren.
have one pick that did not work out so well.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
ask. Is there
was
any?
neat to see.
Were there any bronzy picks?
Evelyn.
Oh god.
Orders
Oh,
Evelyn.
I disagree that it's a bronzy pick. I think it's a bronzy pick in the situation though. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
a
think Evelyn
situational bronzy pick.
I think that Evelyn is actually, and I think about this about like
And I
a
think
number of different champions. But like I think that Evelyn is actually potentially strong against specific compositions and inside of specific compositions.
And
But-
I'll be fair to Order. G2 abused the hell out of it.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I just
Yeah, there was a couple one-off picks I was kind of surprised to see make the run in, like Jax in the RNG Canids game.
Well, I mean, Jax. I think Jax could be standard-esque because we have seen him multiple times throughout the.
Usually is like
Year.
a counter pick to something.
Usually a counter pick, yeah. But like if you see the vein for it, right? Or you think that you're just that much better that there's no way they can stop you from farming.
Like I was just surprised to see a couple of the one-off picks. Was it in the other G2 Order game, the Sejuani coming out?
Yeah, that was.
That was a blast from the past
So
because tank junglers are kind of out right now.
to give you a couple stats here. So Ari and Lucian are 100% pick ban at MSI right now.
Yeah,
Not
like the
surprised.
Ari doesn't surprise me. The Lucian I actually didn't expect to be so heavily.
And the Lucian
Contested.
in the 3 games that has got grabbed is a 100% win rate.
Yeah.
Now, how many of those was alongside Nami?
Probably all of them.
Yeah.
Probably all of them. I think there was a game we were watching, Penn, and I'm like, look how stupid this is. Electrocute fucking Nami and Lucian. Like, he just dashes in, get the PTA. By the time he gets the PTA, that's when they electrocute procs from the Nami. And you're dead. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. You're fucking dead.
Yeah, that's when we were watching games, Thursday night? Yeah, just that electrocute proc on Nami after the Lucian PTA is just disgusting.
I mean, the funny thing is this, right? I think you can do the same thing with Lulu
I don't know.
because of help picks. But it's blockable is the only issue, I
Oh,
think.
okay. I got my busted pick that I did not like because I did not like how he built it. I can't remember who it was. Zed.
Oh, yeah.
He played.
Oh, was that
like,
the Conqueror Zed?
Like, yeah, the Conqueror.
Yeah. Why would you
Conqueror Zed?
You can't. You have to go electrocute, don't you?
You would think.
That was Froggy against G2, wasn't it? Or
Yes.
Order, was that Order G2? Not Froggy, but
No, Froggy, but yeah. It was Order versus G2. I'm pretty sure.
because it was final pick, day 3, final pick of the game.
Well,
it was pick 10.
And not only that, I think he had a couple like really good targets, didn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Looking at the lineup, the in-game picks, you had Wukong, Jin. All right, let's do this right. Blue side was Wukong, Zeri, Renata, Nar LeBlanc. Red side picks were Jin, Nautilus, Evelyn, Trinamir, Zed.
Yeah, no, he had some good targets then.
Yeah, I don't know why he went Conqueror. It was not good. It did not look good. Even when he went in with ulti to use Conqueror to try to live with like the semi-weird tank build that he had, it didn't do any damage. Like, if you're going like Eclipse and trying to go full burst, you just go Electrocute.
Yeah.
Just full send into it. Like, because the thing is, he would go in and he would still die.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you at least want to kill one person when you do it, right?
It was Eclipse into Ghostblade was his build. And that was as far as he got. He got one more serrated Dirk, it looks like. And then the game was over.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the Conqueror on the Zed. I think you need to go Electrocute.
Well, I mean, if
you got to burst a squishy down.
I mean, like what is if you're trying to find something that does something similar and is built to survive, wouldn't you just rather take Kayn?
Yeah, you could play Kayn mid. It'd do the same deal.
Doesn't Kayn offer more if you're going to try to play Zed tanky?
Take Talon. You have an
Talon
ulti that makes you disappear.
Period.
Like,
and then you could Gore Drinker Talon if you're going tanky. You just do the Bruiser Talon. It works so much better on Talon than it does Zed.
It felt weird.
It did.
You know, to my high tier brain. To see him go Conqueror.
Are we talking about your Bronze 1 brain here?
Hey, that is unfair. It's unfair. I have actually decayed from Silver 4. I'm actually Silver 4 is where I'm at right now. So, you know, I'm flexing here a little bit.
Or do we want to use your TFT rank?
No. We have to keep that one secret for a later episode.
Okay. So real quick, Rumble stage. They don't have a schedule up, so I don't know when Rumble is expected.
Probably come out sometime later tonight or tomorrow.
Rumble stage, G2, EG, PSG Talon, RNG, Saigon Buffalo, and T1. Those are the 6 teams that made it. Double round robin, best of ones, top 4 teams advance. Daisy, go.
Top 4 teams advance. This is rough, man. This is rough. Honestly, what I think is this is how it's gonna shake out. I think that T1 is better than RNG. I do not know what the ping is going to be like.
Hopefully they put out a statement.
I
I think
with it being indeterminate though, if T1 goes from playing 0 ping games to playing an artificial 35 ping, where I have heard like other pro players that like interviewed people that were playing on it, and they said it felt way more like 60, 65
mhm,
because it's artificially created, and they said that it tends to spike a little weird.
true.
So if that's the case, I actually think that I would take RNG number 1, SKT number 2, and then from there I would go G2 number 3, and
Who's number 4?
dude, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. You ready? I'm hedging my bets here.
Okay.
I'm fine being wrong and having NA make it out, but I actually think it's probably gonna be Saigon Buffalo.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
I do not think that EG makes it out
Okay.
from what I've seen so far.
Ben.
So I'm going to agree with Daisy. I'm kind of flip flopping on first between RNG and T1, as you said, because of the ping thing.
Okay.
But yeah, G2 definite third. And though I'd love to see EG make it out, I'm going to give it to Saigon. VCS is showing up.
Okay.
And the NA is showing through, and that's a problem.
At least we haven't seen NA Jace yet.
Well, I mean, it's Impact playing it, so it's like it's not really NA Jace.
It's not really
like,
NA Jace.
It's like soft
Sure.
NA Jace.
I say he's infected by NA Jace.
Soft
It's an infection that's
soft-
growing.
It's one of those things where it looks like, oh yeah, it looks like Jace and Lane, and then all of a sudden you're like, why are they team fighting with Jace? Oh god. All right, well.
Oh yeah, Impact's from Korea. That's why.
Right. Okay. So
Your turn, Lake.
for Rumble stages, like Daisy said, I hope I kind of prefer everybody kind of plays on the artificial ping. That way, everybody gets comfortable with it and they know what's happening. Because RNG is gonna make it out, 100%. So you just get used to it now. Just get used to it now. RNG has looked super dominant. T1 has looked super dominant. I mean, realistically, the 1 and 2 does matter, but doesn't, because they should be on the opposite sides of the bracket from each other.
Yeah.
So in all reality, it's probably going to be a T1 RNG finals. I'm going to say it now. T1 RNG finals. Fuck. You know
I love
what?
hearing how upset you are over this.
I'm going T1. I think T1 will take first out of Rumbles.
Yeah.
RNG second. G2 third. Although, and I'm going to say NA makes it. I think it's going to be a hell of a showing between EG and Saigon. But I think hopefully this week or however long it takes before Rumbles gives them time. So that is mine. So we'll see. Is there any matchups that you're excited to watch?
Yes. I am extremely excited to see G2 versus T1. And the reason why is because Caps has looked amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited
and
for
I
it.
want to see him versus Faker. I want to see that so bad. You've no idea. I think that's going to be so hype.
So my reasoning is I don't remember his name, but the dude that dressed up during the LEC finals that was like crossing names off of his thigh.
Oh.
He wrote T1 up there after they won the finals. So I'm excited for that.
You want to see him cross it off his leg, don't you?
Yeah. I'm also excited to see G2 versus RNG. I mean, realistically, I think the T1 RNG G2. Those are kind of the three.
That's the trifecta.
So
Yeah.
so my thing right now, and this is where I am not hyped to see anyone play RNG until I see it for sure on zero ping.
Yeah.
That's my caveat. It's like the reason why I didn't say T1 first, because like I think under normal circumstance I would, but unless they get stuck in the hyperbolic lag chamber, and then they can just come out and like 32 ping is like, or the 35 ping is like their natural habitat. I worry that like as heavily mechanically skilled as both these regions are,
Mm-hmm.
I worry that that's just going to wind up being a recipe for absolute disaster. Like just minor, tiny little fractions of a second difference can make huge changes in those instantaneous decisions and fights.
Yeah. I'll have to say, my second matchup that I'm excited to see, PSG and Saigon. I and like a couple Saigon games. I'm really interested to see if they can keep up the dominance. Because unfortunately, it was kind of against a weaker Team A's and DFM.
Yeah.
So I want to see if it's more than just we played some rough, like some quote unquote easy teams in groups. So it'll be interesting to see them against PSG and EG.
Well, if that's the case, then I also Saigon versus G2 be a similar case where G2 looked dominant, but it was against some really easy teams, and so no, like actually though, Saigon versus EG, because like in the end, our our thoughts are at least that these are the two teams that are going to be battling for fourth place. Oh, speaking of which, you actually never revealed fourth place.
Fourth place.
Yeah, what's your call for fourth?
I said EG. I said T1
Oh, so you-
RN. I said T1 RNG G2 EG.
All right,
Okay.
missed it.
But will not be shocked.
Yeah.
If Saigon takes it.
Will not be shocked, but I will be slightly disappointed.
Oh, disappointment will definitely
Disappointment
be there.
would be high up there.
Like 100% disappointment will be there.
I want EG to have experience in a best of 5 internationally, but that is the experience that I want for most of the NA teams that have gone to an international event.
Which is really funny because if you think about it, right? I don't know if they're just gonna go down the line of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then break it down 1 versus faces 4, 2 faces 3, or if they're gonna do a draw. I don't know. I don't think they've said what they're.
Dude, if they did a draw, the luckiest thing possible
is RNG
NA.
versus T1, and
Yeah.
and EG making it, and then somehow showing up against G2 in the best of 5.
I think in the
maybe-
best of,
maybe
EG
Caps
could show
catches-
us a bit more.
Caps catches COVID and he's like coughing so hard that he's like stutter stepping on a champion. You can catch him.
He's got real life brain lag.
Yeah. But what's really funny is if they go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go off of what our picks are, EG is facing RNG.
Yeah.
In the first semifinals.
Or Saigon. Either one, right?
Yeah. And oh my god, I feel bad for whoever faces RNG. I'm just
I actually want to see Saigon versus RNG.
take a game
if
off
we're
of
there.
them.
Dude, could you imagine how hyped that would be?
Would that not be poetic
yes.
justice if the VCS was to take LPL down?
Yeah, for sure. It will, even just taking a game.
Just take a game. I think that'd be a moral victory of the highest degree.
Now,
or if they
okay.
had to like throw at the end of a game or something. Whatever. It's fine.
So think about it this way too. So if Saigon, decides to make the most magical miracle run and win MSI, and then you got GAM Esports who didn't even win the other thing
the
that
SEA
they
Games.
attended.
Yeah.
And like how bad would you feel for GAM if you're like, man, that could have been you. That could have been you.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I'd feel bad.
Wouldn't feel bad at all.
GAM made the
Because
choice to miss
then
MSI
VCS
for
could say this isn't even our final form, and just be like,
We'll see you
It's
at
like,
Worlds.
funny. You have North America as a major region. Interesting.
As they do the slow glasses push up.
Yeah,
Glint.
exactly.
Oh my god.
So America's a major region, eh?
And then all of a sudden you get a statement from Riot that says VCS is taking NA's major
NA
role.
spot.
And they
VCS
get
now has 3 slots. NA has 1 and a play-in slot.
So
yeah.
here's the question, right? No, this is actually a legitimate question, a little legitimate proposition now. If NA loses their guaranteed spot, what is the actual chance for them to get decent prospects from other regions?
Oh, like one of those they did so bad that people want to go there.
Well,
You mean
think
like
about
it is now?
If you're no longer if you're no longer a major region, if you don't
What-
get guaranteed,
Yeah, what's your
spots at
chances of
Worlds,
signing people from other countries
Yeah.
who are top
They
tier
did so
players?
bad. Why would anybody go there?
Well, because you're trying to compete for a major region, you want to go to a place that has a chance, right?
Yeah.
Do you think if
That
that
is-
happened, you might see a step up in NA play as they attempt to?
No, I
No?
don't. I actually think it would be the opposite, because I think that.
Oh,
at
we're
that
out
point
of
in
it
time-
anyway. Why care?
Well, no, I think that backers will pull out.
No.
I will have to say
The death of the franchises.
I will say this: keep that question at the forefront of your mind, because I think after
I think that'd be interesting to track.
after
'cause-
after MSI, I think we got like a week before any of the other regions kick off.
I think we figured 2 or 3 before LEC and NA started.
So I
Yeah.
would definitely save that for the end of MSI. We
That
will
could
save
be a
that
good
for a discussion.
Mid-episode.
Yeah.
Mm.
Keep that one at the front.
yeah.
Um,
I will say that no matter what, NA has to be able to perform at Worlds if nothing else this year.
yes,
Like they're
100%.
they're in a spot right now where they have to.
They can't speed run back to the plane.
Yeah, can't have smiles after going and whatever in the play-in stages and
Yeah.
Oh,
damn
boy.
double lift.
All right. MSI. Make sure you guys catch that. It's currently going on. They broadcast it on YouTube, Twitch, and they have their own website, LOL Esports. So make sure you guys go and catch that. It's going to be very exciting Rumble stage, in my opinion. Two of the top major regions going at it, with everybody trying to figure out if they can win some and get some glory themselves. And all right, so we have our predictions. We're gonna see how the week goes. Hopefully the games start soon, or else we'll have to figure out some random stuff to talk about next week when we all come back, which should be easy enough. Maybe we'll talk about our own, solo duo experience.
No,
Or our
please
adventures
not.
adventures in NA norms. Because that's the real adventure right there.
If
He's
it's
a
not
real
ranked, it doesn't
adventure.
count, Pin. If
Come
it's not
on, it's
ranked,
still
it doesn't
NA. It's all a fiesta.
My MMR is inflated in normals.
I know, so is mine. And it's because of
I'm
Lake.
actually playing against secret challengers, smurfing in normals.
You know how many times I look at the people I'm facing in top lane and I realize they're like high gold platinum, and it's
Sorry.
because of Lake and
Sorry.
Curtis.
Sorry.
I'm playing people against my level and doing all right against them for the most part.
Alrighty.
All right. On that note, we appreciate anybody and everybody who showed up, who listened in. If you want to post any comments or anything, feel free to do so. We'll check them out. Maybe we'll bring them up in the next discussion. We are currently we record this live on Twitch. You can come in, chat, maybe post a question. Maybe we'll pay attention to you or not. It just kind of depends on how we're feeling.
You know, they could send an email to bronziebreakdown@gmail.com if they have questions.
Yeah, if
We
you
can maybe put it
guys-
on the end, tag it onto the end of our notes to hit.
If you think we got some hot takes, or if you think your predictions are better, let us know. We will, once the regular season kicks off again, summer season, we will keep track of how our predictions go, based on the chosen games. So see if you can do better than us. But thank you guys for showing up and listening in on the Bronzie Breakdown, where a bunch of, idiots decide to talk and act like they're pros and can actually break stuff down. We appreciate it. Do you guys got anything to say before we sign out?
We had one person chat complaining about none of us being technically
moving.
bronze right now. Can we?
I mean, I finished bronze last year.
We could just change it to like a picture of Peter Griffin and call it Silver Scrapes. Just have him rocking there the whole time. Nothing. I got nothing.
All right. Once again, bronziebreakdown@gmail. If you have any questions, any comments, just let us know.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. Catch us live or let us know what's up. Have a great night, everybody.